Hi, and welcome to video number 8. We're going to be talking about the Pin It button, and the purpose of this exercise is to show you how to use the Pinterest Pin It button on your website. And the purpose of the Pin It button will basically help you market your website, market your content, so if somebody finds really good content with really good pictures, they can pin it onto their Pinterest board. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. In order to access the Pin It button that you can add onto your website, go back to the main site and click on this here. And under the About section, you're going to see the Pin It button link. So we're going to click that. And we used this previously. This is not what we're going to be using in this specific video. Scroll down a little bit further. And this is the specific button that we want to use. We want to use the Pin It button for websites. And as you can see, it says add a Pin It button to invite your readers to pin your work onto Pinterest. So it's kind of like the Facebook and Twitter button. And it allows people to take your content and put it onto Pinterest. And that's a great way to market your content and get your content more exposure. Now, in order to use this properly, you're going to need three different things. You're going to need the URL to the page that you want to pin. In other words, you're going to need the link to your content. And then second of all, you're going to need the link to the image of the pin. So if the content is on a, one site and the image is on a different site, that's fine. You've created your own Pin It button right here. And the description is important. It says descriptions are optional but recommended. The description is very important because if you put the description here and somebody pins the item, then they're automatically going to see the description in their box. So it gives them the ability to change it. However, for the most part, most people are going to keep it the same. So use the description wisely, put your keywords in there, and so forth. So let's go ahead and use an example here. I'm going to go back to Google. And let's say, for example, that I'm going to go back to using that cupcake recipe example. And one way to figure this out is if you already have a website that is already up, and let's say that the carrot cupcake, that's what I want. I changed it to the Christmas cupcake. So the URL is going to be this here. So that's the URL of the content. And the URL of the image would be this. So I'm going to right click here, click on copy image URL, and copy this over here. Then I'm going to put a description here. So I could put something like Christmas cupcakes. Are you looking for Christmas cupcake recipes to make for your family during Christmas? And let's say, for example, I'm good to go here. And you can change this pin count. It's horizontal right now. If it's vertical, it looks like this. So depending on your site, you can make it no count, but I wouldn't do that. I would probably put horizontal or vertical. So choose whatever you want, and then what it's going to do is it's going to give you the code to add to your website. So there are two things that you need to do. You need to first add this link to your page right where you want the button to appear, so the location. And then here it says add this to the code of your page only once, directly above the body tag. And I'm going to show you that in just a minute. Now, if you're using a WordPress website or anything like that, then you can actually use a third-party WordPress plugin. So if you go to WordPress, look for Pinterest Pin It button plugins, then this will actually speed the process up faster. But if you're using a static HTML website that's not WordPress based, then you're going to need to follow these here. In this example, I'm going to use what we call a WYSIWYG tool to edit a piece of HTML code. Now, if you're using WordPress, then use the WordPress plugin. If you've got an HTML site, I'm going to show you how to edit the site. What you want to do is go to google.com and do a search for a program called Composer. And click on Downloads. And Composer is compatible with Windows, Mac, and Linux. So just go ahead and download your language. In this case, is English. So download these links depending on your computer and go ahead and install it, and I'm going to go ahead and use it. And what you need to do is simply open up Composer and either find the file or you're going to create a file. So we're going to find the file, you'll need to click on File, Open File, and find the HTML file. Now, in this case, I'm going to use this as an example. Let's say, for example, this is my HTML page. All I need to do is simply add this link to your page where you want the button to appear. So I'm going to select this, copy it, go back to Composer, and let's say, for example, that I want the Pin It button at the very top. The easiest way to do that is to put some sort of code here and go to the source code and then look for it. And then highlight that keyword that we created and just paste the button there. And then I'm going to go back here, and the second thing is just add this code onto your page only once before the body tag. So in other words, before the end of the page. So if I go down here and scroll all the way to the bottom, you're going to see this /body tag. So that code just needs to go right before it. So as we did here, click on Save. And if I refresh the page, there I go. Now, the reason why you don't see an image here is because it's trying to detect that specific website that I entered here. Now, because obviously this is not my website and the code is not on my website, it's not actually showing up. So if this was my website, it would show up. Now, if I click on this, and as you can see, the description shows up right here. Now, most people, like I said, will just select that and click on Pin It. They're not going to change the description as much. So if you can utilize the description as much as possible and make sure that you contain keywords that helps people find you, then you can use this as an effective marketing tool. So they can click Pin It. And we're just going to fill this in. Click on Submit. And there we go. So as you can see, creating a Pin It button is very easy. You just need to keep in mind the URL of the page and the URL of the image, and then add this to your website, and that's it.